Shocking new footage of Glorilla and NBA star Brandon Ingram just hit the internet, and fans are going wild over her personal life. But that's probably the least of her problems, because right now, she's also facing a serious legal case that could change everything. There's a lot going on with Glorilla, so let's break it down. The Cabo connection. Picture this. It's July 27, 2025, and Glorilla, real name Gloria Hallelujah Woods, is living her absolute best life, celebrating her 26th birthday in the luxurious setting of Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Now, if you know anything about Glo, you know she's been grinding nonstop since her breakout hit FNF Let's Go took the world by storm in 2022. The girl went from working at a fast food restaurant to becoming one of the most successful female rappers in the game, with over 25 million records sold in the US and a Grammy nomination under her belt. So when it comes time to celebrate another year of life, you better believe she's going to do it right. But here's where the story gets interesting, and trust me, this is where your boy had to do some serious investigative work to separate fact from fiction. On July 28, 2025, TMZ dropped what they called exclusive footage that would send social media into an absolute frenzy. The footage showed Glorilla and Brandon Ingram, you know, the 6'8" NBA forward who was recently traded to the Toronto Raptors, getting cozy at Balam nightclub in Cabo. Now, let me break down exactly what this footage shows, because the devil is always in the details. The primary footage takes place inside this dimly lit nightclub, and I'm talking about that classic nightclub aesthetic. Purple neon lights casting shadows everywhere, the Balam sign glowing in the background, and that pulsing energy that only comes from a birthday celebration in Mexico. In the video, we see Glorilla looking absolutely stunning in a strapless top and jewelry that catches every light in the club, while Brandon Ingram is looking casual but clean in his denim jacket. Here's what's got everyone talking. The chemistry is undeniable. We see Glorilla wrapping her arms around Ingram's neck in what can only be described as an intimate embrace. They're swaying together to the music, and while there's no kissing or anything overly explicit happening, the body language speaks volumes. The clip runs for about 37 seconds, and social media users have been dissecting every single frame like it's the Zapruder film. But the footage doesn't stop there. The real tea comes from what happened when they left the club. Picture this. It's around 3 a.m., the party's winding down, and here comes Glorilla and Brandon Ingram walking out together, hand in hand like they're already comfortable with each other. The exterior footage shows them getting into a light-colored SUV, and this is where it gets really cute, y'all. Glorilla is sitting in the back seat with not one, but two phones, because you know she's got to document everything for the gram, and she's got this gold phone in her hand, smiling and gesturing playfully, while Brandon sits right beside her, also on his phone, looking relaxed and happy.
Okay, well, I did want to, talk about Glorilla, because she got her a boo now.
Okay.
Yes. Now, Charlamagne, you can be all up in her business because it's basically public at this point.
But here's where the story gets even more intriguing. Glorilla, being the social media savvy artist that she is, wasn't completely silent about her Cabo trip. She posted several Instagram stories from her birthday vacation, and one particular story has fans playing detective like they're working for the FBI. The story shows a man's arm, just an arm, mind you, but eagle-eyed fans immediately started speculating that, based on the tattoos and build, it could very well be Brandon Ingram's arm. Now, she never tagged him, never mentioned his name, but sometimes what you don't say speaks louder than what you do.
She popped out. So her and Brandon Ingram were spotted first in a club in Cabo. She's been celebrating her birthday, and in the video, she's like hugging him, and they walk in together. And then, additionally, there's a video that now, is being reported of them two in the car, and it's really cute. She has two phones. She has one for the light. She's holding up the other one, and they're like, just making a video together. So,
salute to them.
It looks like, she might got her little boo thing.
Let's talk about why this pairing has captured everyone's imagination, because it's not just about two celebrities being spotted together. When you look at Glorilla and Brandon Ingram, you're looking at two people who seem genuinely compatible on multiple levels. First, there's the age factor. Glorilla is 26, Brandon is 27, so they're right in that sweet spot where they're both established in their careers, but still young enough to enjoy life. Then you've got the regional connection. Glorilla hails from Memphis, Tennessee, specifically the Fraser neighborhood, while Brandon Ingram is from Kinston, North Carolina. Both are Southern born and raised, and if you know anything about Southern culture, that shared background creates an instant connection. The height dynamic has also got people talking, and honestly, it's kind of adorable. Brandon Ingram stands at an impressive 6'8", while Glorilla is around 5'5", creating this classic tall guy, short girl pairing that social media absolutely loves. Fans have been creating memes and artwork imagining them together, and the engagement has been through the roof. But what really has people invested in this potential relationship is the timing. Glorilla has been very vocal about her relationship status, particularly her declaration in November 2024, where she stated she was single and celibate until God send me my husband. For someone who's been focusing intensely on her career and personal growth to potentially open her heart to someone new, that's a big deal. Similarly, Brandon Ingram has kept his personal life extremely private throughout his NBA career, so for him to be seen in such an intimate setting with someone suggests this might be more than just a casual encounter. The social media reaction has been overwhelmingly positive, which is actually pretty remarkable in today's age, where celebrity relationships often face intense scrutiny and criticism. Fans have been using phrases like power couple vibes and celebrating what they see as a perfect match. One popular post garnered over 4,000 likes, with users joking about their chemistry, and the general consensus seems to be that people are genuinely happy for both of them. As we dive deeper into this story in the next part, we're going to explore both of their relationship histories and really examine the historical context of an NBA superstar dating a musician, the couple's relationship histories and likely future. Now that we've covered how this rumored relationship came to light, let's dive deep into the romantic histories of both Glorilla and Brandon Ingram, because understanding their past relationships gives us crucial context for what might be happening between them now. And let me tell you, both of these individuals have some fascinating relationship stories that have shaped who they are today. Let's start with Glorilla, whose relationship history reads more like a masterclass in setting boundaries and learning from past experiences than your typical celebrity dating timeline. The most significant relationship in her past, and really the one that seems to have had the most impact on her approach to love, was with a man known online as Dabus Unearth, which appears to be her most referenced past relationship from before her fame. This relationship was marked by what Glorilla herself has described as significant drama and trauma. In 2023, Glorilla opened up in interviews about a particularly intense moment where she nearly shot an ex-boyfriend during an argument, which fans linked to Dabus Unearth. Now, before anyone gets the wrong idea, Glorilla has been very open about learning from these experiences and growing as a person, but it shows you the kind of emotional intensity she was dealing with in her pre-fame relationships. By 2024, Dabus Unearth was posting reflective content on social media about their time together, including posts about life before and after Glow, which suggests their breakup coincided with her rising fame and the changes that come with that level of success. The timeline of Glorilla's rumored relationships since her rise to fame is actually pretty sparse, which speaks to her selectiveness. In 2022, there was speculation about a brief romantic encounter with Drake, but this is listed on celebrity dating trackers as a rumor without substantiation. No joint appearances, statements, or photos confirm it. Given Drake's extensive dating history, this kind of speculation comes with the territory, but Glorilla has never addressed it directly. More recently, in February 2024, Glorilla made headlines when she publicly shot her shot at Milwaukee Bucks player Damian Lillard during the NBA All-Star game. She posted that she wanted him and joked that his ex-wife couldn't compete, which sparked widespread rumors. However, Lillard clarified in October 2024 that they were just friends, shutting down the romance talk. Glorilla later called it playful flirtation, but confirmed that no actual relationship developed. Now let's turn our attention to Brandon Ingram, whose relationship history is characterized by extreme privacy and discretion. Ingram is known for maintaining a highly private personal life, often avoiding public displays or confirmations, which has led to amplified gossip in entertainment and sports media when any romantic connections do surface. In 2018, while playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, Ingram was linked to Raylin Inez, a California-based exotic dancer, Instagram model, and YouTuber with over 600,000 followers. This relationship was notable for the strict rules that were reportedly enforced. Inez couldn't show Ingram's face publicly, had to sit in the upper levels at Lakers games, and was barred from discussing their relationship online. The relationship was described as low-key but contentious, with accusations of Ingram treating her as a side chick. They reportedly split by late 2018 amid cheating allegations. Around the same time, there were overlapping rumors about Ingram dating Amber Washington, who hinted on social media that he was involved with multiple women, implying infidelity with Inez. Washington posted cryptic messages about Ingram's thotarage and claimed priority in seating at games, creating social media drama that highlighted the complexities of dating while being an NBA star. In 2019, Ingram was romantically linked to model and influencer Aaliyah Petty, who announced her pregnancy around that time. Initial reports claimed Ingram was the father of her son, born in 2020, but Petty later clarified that the child was actually with Portland Trail Blazers guard Anfernee Simons. This created some confusion in the media, with some sources still referencing Ingram in connection with the situation, but it was ultimately clarified that their relationship was casual and brief. During the 2021 NBA All-Star Weekend, Ingram was spotted with R&B singer Paloma Ford, with reports describing it as a fling rather than a serious relationship. Ford shared an Instagram photo of them together, sparking romance rumors, but no confirmation of anything serious emerged, and it faded quickly from public attention. What's particularly interesting about both Glorilla and Brandon Ingram's relationship histories is how they seem to have learned from their past experiences and become more selective about who they let into their lives. Looking at their relationship histories also reveals some interesting patterns that might predict compatibility. Both have experience with the entertainment industry. Glorilla obviously as a musician, and Ingram through his various connections to entertainers and influencers. Both have dealt with public scrutiny of their personal lives and have developed strategies for maintaining some level of privacy. And both seem to value authenticity and genuine connection over superficial attraction or publicity. But there is a downside to this pairing. When an NBA superstar is in a relationship with a musician, it more than often doesn't end well. Let's get some historical examples in. Let's start with what might be the most dramatic example in recent memory: Nick Young and Iggy Azalea's relationship, which started in 2013 and culminated in an engagement in 2015. Everything seemed perfect on the surface, an NBA champion with a rising rapper living together, planning a future. But then came 2016, and with it one of the most explosive scandals in NBA musician relationship history. Lakers teammate D'Angelo Russell leaked a video of Young admitting to cheating, causing not just a breakup but locker room drama that got Russell traded. Azalea cited betrayal as the reason for ending their engagement, and Young's career suffered as the scandal overshadowed his professional achievements. Then there's the cautionary tale of J.R. Smith and Rihanna's brief 2012 romance, which started with PDA at clubs during Smith's Knicks tenure. What seemed like a fun celebrity hookup quickly turned toxic when Rihanna publicly shamed Smith on social media, calling him thirsty and blaming his playoff performance on partying. This sparked debates about how relationships impact athletes' professionalism and showed how quickly public romance can turn into public humiliation. But perhaps the most relevant cautionary tale for Glorilla and Ingram comes from Ben Simmons and Tinashe's 2017 to 2018 relationship. Like our current situation, this pairing seemed perfect on paper, a young NBA all-star and a rising R&B singer, but the relationship ended amid cheating allegations, with Tinashe channeling her heartbreak into breakup songs that basically confirmed Simmons' infidelity. The public nature of their breakup, combined with Simmons quickly moving on to date Kendall Jenner, created a narrative that damaged both their reputations. The pattern becomes even more concerning when we look at recent developments. In 2024 to 2025, Chicago Bulls player Torrey Craig dated rapper Megan Thee Stallion, but controversy erupted when a woman leaked explicit messages and payment receipts from Craig, claiming he pursued her while in the relationship. This scandal fueled debates about infidelity patterns in NBA hip-hop pairings and highlighted how social media has made private indiscretions impossible to keep secret. Most heartbreaking example might be Iman Shumpert and Teyana Taylor, who seemed like the perfect NBA musician power couple when they married in 2016. They had 2 daughters together and appeared to be building a beautiful family. But in 2023, Taylor filed for divorce, alleging emotional and mental abuse, narcissism, and infidelity. The acrimonious split involved custody battles and public statements, with Taylor claiming Shumpert jeopardized their safety. This showed that even relationships that last 7 years and produce children aren't immune to the unique pressures of NBA musician pairings. Analysis of documented NBA musician pairings shows that approximately 70% last under a year, typically ending due to incompatible schedules, media pressure, or infidelity scandals. The reasons for failure are remarkably consistent: intense media scrutiny that turns personal matters into public spectacles, the demanding travel schedules that create opportunities for affairs, career distractions that affect professional performance, and the financial and legal battles that often follow high-profile breakups. Speaking of legal battles, Glorilla is currently going through a bombshell legal situation that could impact not only her personal life but also her potential relationship with Brandon Ingram. Glorilla's legal battles. Days before that Cabo footage went viral, something that adds a whole new layer of complexity to this story and shows just how much drama Glorilla has been dealing with recently. This is where the story gets absolutely wild. So while everyone was focused on that romantic Cabo footage, Glorilla was actually dealing with a serious legal situation that perfectly illustrates the kind of challenges that could derail any potential relationship with Brandon Ingram. On July 20th, 2025, around 1:30 a.m., 3 suspects allegedly broke into Glorilla's home in Forsyth County, Georgia. But here's the kicker. She wasn't even there. She was in Indianapolis performing at the WNBA All-Star Game, living her best life professionally. An armed occupant in the house fired shots at the intruders, who fled unharmed. No one was hurt, thank God, but family members staying at the home had to call the police to report what must have been an absolutely terrifying experience. Now you'd think this is where law enforcement would focus all their energy on catching the criminals who violated her home, right? Wrong.
Well, it just depends. If what the victim has is open and notorious, if there was weed all over, if there were guns all over, then law enforcement goes, wait a minute, we'll still investigate this, but we're going to have to investigate the new one. If it's right in their face, they can't turn it down. They've got to do what they've got to do. And If you don't break the law, you don't have any problem, do you?
During the investigation of her victimization, deputies detected what they called a strong odor consistent with illegal narcotics and obtained a search warrant. They discovered over an ounce of marijuana in the master bedroom closet, along with a Schedule I controlled substance. And just like that, Glorilla went from being the victim of a violent crime to facing 2 felony charges that could result in 1, 10 years imprisonment and fines up to $10,000 per count. The irony is absolutely staggering. Glorilla voluntarily surrendered on July 22, 2025, and was released on a $22,260 bond the same day. Meanwhile, the 3 people who actually committed a violent crime by breaking into her home, still at large, still unpunished, still free to potentially victimize someone else. Glorilla didn't stay quiet about this injustice. She took to social media calling the situation crazy and criticizing the focus on cannabis over finding the actual burglars. My house got home invaded Saturday, and instead of focusing on finding the suspects, they focus on some cannabis. Long story short, my house gets home invaded, and I'm the only one that gets arrested. Her legal team came out swinging. Attorneys Marissa Goldberg and Drew Findling called the arrest a disturbing window into how warped law enforcement priorities have become. Miss Woods is a victim, not a suspect. They emphasized the taxpayer waste involved in prosecuting a crime victim, while the actual criminals roam free. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Georgia State Representative Eric Bell has advocated for the charges to be dropped, linking the case to his House Bill 464, which aims to prevent arrests on unrelated minor offenses when reporting crimes. Bell stated, "No one, regardless of fame, background, or zip code, should fear being criminalized for doing the right thing." Unfortunately, stories like hers are not rare. Too often, victims of crime, especially Black victims, face the threat of arrest simply for seeking help from law enforcement. Now let's connect this back to her potential relationship with Brandon Ingram. This legal situation represents exactly the kind of drama that has destroyed NBA musician relationships in the past. Remember, this isn't even Glorilla's first run-in with Georgia law enforcement. In April 2024, she was arrested for DUI, open container possession, and failure to obey a traffic control device, and that case is still pending as well. First, let's talk about what we know has happened since that. Initial TMZ footage broke the internet on July 28, 2025, and honestly, the silence has been deafening in the most intriguing way possible. Neither Glorilla nor Brandon Ingram has posted about the other on social media, and their representatives have remained completely silent. This is particularly significant when you consider that we live in an era where celebrity relationships are often immediately confirmed, denied, or at least addressed through carefully crafted social media posts or statements from publicists. But here's what makes their silence so fascinating. It's strategic. Ingram, known for his intensely private nature, has remained focused on his off-season training and adjusting to his recent trade to the Toronto Raptors. Meanwhile, Glorilla has been juggling album promotion, celebrating recent accolades like her 2025 Billboard Women in Music Powerhouse honor, and dealing with these serious legal challenges. Now, what does the future hold for Glorilla and Brandon Ingram, knowing full well the landmines that have destroyed similar relationships, and considering the additional pressure of ongoing legal battles? On the positive side, Glorilla's declaration of celibacy in November 2024, where she stated she was single and celibate until God send me my husband, suggests she's not interested in casual relationships. Similarly, Ingram's history of extreme privacy means that his willingness to be seen publicly with someone represents a significant departure from his usual approach. The positive social media reaction, with fans approving of their power couple potential due to their ages and southern roots, suggests public perception is working in their favor. But let's be brutally honest about the challenges they're facing, because history is not on their side. The NBA season is grueling, with 82 games plus playoffs, extensive travel, and the physical and mental demands that come with playing at the highest level. Ingram, having just been traded to Toronto, is dealing with adjustment pressures. Meanwhile, Glorilla is at the peak of her career trajectory, with over 25 million records sold in the US, and she's facing potential felony convictions that could include prison time. The legal situation adds unprecedented stress. Historical data shows that musicians often struggle with the epic failure to commit that comes with busy careers and constant travel, and NBA players face similar challenges. Now add court dates, legal fees, media, coverage of arrests, and the possibility of incarceration, and you have a recipe for relationship disaster. What gives me hope is how they've handled the initial exposure and how Glorilla has managed her legal challenges with dignity. Unlike couples who immediately rush to social media, they've maintained privacy. Unlike relationships that start with manufactured publicity stunts, this began with genuine moments. And unlike many celebrities who crumble under legal pressure, Glorilla has shown resilience, continuing with scheduled performances like her July 25th, 2025 Glow Bash concert in Memphis. Based on my analysis of their personalities, relationship histories, current career trajectories, legal complexities, possibilities and historical patterns, I predict we're looking at 3 scenarios. The most likely outcome, with about 50% probability, is that the legal situation creates too much stress and uncertainty, causing this potential relationship to fade quietly by fall 2025. The demands of court appearances, potential sentencing, and media coverage of the legal case will likely overshadow any romantic development. The second scenario, with about 30% probability, is that if the charges are dropped or resolved favorably, which Rep. Lobel is pushing for, they could develop a serious relationship by early 2026, with Ingram potentially providing stability during her legal challenges. This would require both extraordinary discretion and mutual support through crisis. The third scenario, with about 20% probability, is that they maintain a casual connection that could develop into something more significant once her legal issues are resolved, potentially in 2026 or 2027. What's clear is that Glorilla is dealing with much more than relationship speculation right now. She's fighting for her freedom, her reputation, and justice for the violation of her home. Any relationship, no matter how promising, takes a backseat to avoiding felony convictions that could derail everything she's worked for. The future forecast, cautiously pessimistic in the short term, with hope for the long term if justice prevails. While love might conquer all in fairy tales, in the real world, legal battles and potential prison time have a way of derailing even the most promising romances. Glorilla needs to focus on clearing her name first. Everything else, including Brandon Ingram, will have to wait. If you enjoyed this video, check out our other awesome videos on the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.